What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a great day today. Today we are finally getting installed the Z1 intake spacer on the truck. I've had this thing for, I don't know, at least 5 months now, and I haven't been able to put it on. Just haven't had time or didn't feel like doing it. But today we're getting it done, so let's go. So if you guys have noticed, I haven't been posting videos last couple weeks or really been on social media at all for that matter. And I was supposed to go up to North Georgia and do sections of the Georgia Traverse with some friends of mine that I talked about in the last video, and the trip kind of fell apart. What happened was, let me get out of here without hitting somebody. What happened was, one of my friends, Joe, who you've seen before, Joe, which I knew he probably wasn't going to be able to make the trip because he had some work issues that he just really couldn't get out of, so I halfway expected that. So he ended up having to bail. God, this sun is something else. He ended up having to bail, and then my buddy Kevin ended up having to bail. He had some issues, and so it was just going to be me and Alex, which I was fine with, but Alex had to leave on Saturday to be home on Sunday for Easter, and that would have left, pretty much I would have drove 6 hours, camped that night. Me and Alex would have rode all day Friday, and that's it. He would have left. So I'd have been up there by myself for basically the entire trip except for one day. So we just canned it and decided just to try another time. And since I didn't really have anything to film, I didn't have anything to do, I just took that opportunity and took about 2 weeks off of posting videos, which for me was a lot because I posted at least one video every week for, I don't know, about a year and a half. So not having a video to post was kind of weird, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you just don't have something to film. You just don't. And I'd rather put out some good content rather than just crank out content just for no reason. So anyway, we're gonna stop at the Wawa, get gas for the truck, get gas for me, and we're on the way out to get this thing installed. Okay, so I had to run to AutoZone and get a couple things. I don't think we had a good, or at least I didn't have a good Allen set key, so I had to get some of that. You'll need a 5mm on that. And then I also didn't think we had a E8 torque socket, so I went and picked up a whole set, and 8 right there. So you'll need that. Everything else for the install, according to the PDF on Z1's website, you just need basic stuff: pliers, flathead screwdriver, sockets, extensions, and then everything's in metric, so you'll need metric everything. But other than that, we should be good to go. All right, so we've been at it for a little bit already. First thing you do is take off your intake hose from your throttle body. There is 2 bolts on that bracket right below the throttle body that you take off, and then after that you start undoing the bolts and the studs that hold in the intake. There's 2 here, 2 there, 2 there, and 2 in the back. Z1 does give you a little diagram on the PDF on their website that you can download for the instructions. It's really not too hard. So we're halfway through now. We're about 2 more bolts away from taking the intake off. Then we'll put the spacer on and button it back up. So we got everything put on. I didn't film a lot of it. I just kind of want to get done. It's getting hot, but you know, this isn't a how-to video anyway. I'm just letting you know it's pretty straightforward. There's a bolt here, a stud there, there's a bolt there, and there's 2, 4, 6, 8. Take those off, this thing pops up, just slide your spacer straight in, put it back down, and put it back on. You torque it back down to 18 foot-pounds, and you're ready to roll. Piece of cake. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys some driving impressions. I doubt this spacer is anything that could be really measured on a dyno. Maybe at the crank, it probably could. I just don't see it making any wheel horsepower difference, but I do expect to feel something, right? So I'm gonna put the camera on the speedometer and the tach and have you guys check it out. So we're about quarter throttle. It's about half throttle. For 35s, it pulls fine. I feel like it does pull just a hair harder at about 4,500, 5,000 RPMs. I wouldn't say it's a horsepower increase, but it feels more responsive, and it just, it's a little bit there, right? I mean, the whole thing is only, I don't know, how much are they? 200 bucks, 220 bucks? You know, it feels adequate for that type of that price point. So I'm gonna give it a yes. I'm gonna give it a yeah. I think if you had the intake like I have, you have the spacer now, and you have the exhaust, and you all had it tuned with their the tuner from Z1, I think that would make a huge difference and really tie everything together. But for the amount of work it took, which was hardly anything, and what you get, I think it's fair. So I'm gonna give it a yes. Here's one more little pull. Let's see. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot. It's not a lot, but for the truck lifted with 35s on there, it's not winning any races to begin with. So every little bit of extra power, right, you definitely can feel it driving. So there's that. Okay guys, it is now the next day. We ended up taking the truck out to Citrus that day, and we did a little bit of riding around, but some of my friends were out there, they were camping, so we went down there, hung out with them for a while, and before you knew it, it was kind of late, so we just came back. But I do want to show you one thing I picked up. It's going to make a big difference to the channel. Our very own Kinetic Rope. Picked this up from Yankum Ropes. Reached out to them, they're really cool. They set me up with this 7/8 Kinetic Rope that's going to be great for the truck. You know, a lot of folks would ask me sometimes why it took me so long to get my own rope, and it's because every time I went out with somebody, they always had one, and I never really go out alone, so it didn't really make sense for me. But I got some big stuff planned for the truck, for the channel, and we're going to need our own recovery kit, so this is the first in the kit. If you guys are looking for a rope, you can look at the description down below. There's a link to Yankum Ropes and a code. Of course, there's a code that gets you a discount, and when you purchase a rope, it helps support the channel, but you save a little bit of money, I make a little bit of money, and everybody's happy. So if you guys want one, link down in the description for that. And I'll also leave a link down in the description for the intake spacer we put on if you want more information on that as well. Let me show you from the side, since I watched the video earlier and you can't really see the spacer from where I was filming, so let me open this up for you. Hang on. Okay. So the spacer sits right down in there. Can you see that? There you go. So it sits right down in there. It was a super easy install. Like, it was super easy. Like I said, it was 8 bolts and then 2 on the bracket. You just pick the intake up, slide the spacer in, make sure the gaskets are all lined up, put the bolts back in, and you're done. So yeah, easy upgrade, and I'll leave that link for that product in the description as well if you want to check that out. Okay guys, that's going to be it for this one. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Next weekend, I will be going down to my buddy's house who lives down in Wesley Chapel area for my birthday. So when we get down there, we'll do a little bit riding around, probably in Citrus, or I might head on down to Richland. They're both about an equal distance from his house. So anyway, we'll get back to some wheeling content here soon, but until then, we'll see you next time.